Brooks will always have hockey. He recently lost his son in a senseless accident. The way Brooks is coping with this tremendous void left in his life and the compassion he's showing is uniquely brave and amazingly open-minded, given the circumstances surrounding his son's death. Like every kid who grows up in Canada, Ross Brooks dreamed of playing in the National Hockey League. Brooks traveled a long and winding minor league road, which, as the song promises, led to the door of the NHL.
I think probably the biggest thing is just the thrill of being there was quite a thing for me. You know, I bounced around the minor leagues. If there was a town, I was in it and played there.
And Boston was the town he was in when his NHL dream finally came to fruition. Brooks served as a steady backup goaltender for the likes of Eddie Johnston and Gilles Gilbert. He posted an impressive 37-7-6 mark in his 3 years with the Bruins, and he owned a special spot in Bruins lore. The night was January 19, 1974. The place, the Montreal Forum. The final score, Boston 8, Montreal nothing. And until this season, he was the last Bruin to earn a shutout in the hallowed halls of the Montreal Forum.
I wasn't supposed to play that night, and we went to practice in the morning, and then went out and ate a big meal, and I don't usually eat the day of a game. I can't eat a lot, or I didn't eat a lot at that time, and Gilbert and I were in the room. We were roomies, and the phone rang, and it was Bet wanted to know what we were doing. I said, "We're up here having a party." "What do you mean, what are we doing?" We're getting ready for tonight." He said, "Well, you're going to play tonight." He said, "Gilly's sick." I looked over, I said, "Gil, are you sick?" He said, "I didn't want to tell you, I wanted him to tell you." And the rest was history. We got the first shot, though, probably told the whole story of the whole game, because the first shot was Mihalovic come down, he hit the crossbar, and went up in the stands. I never even moved. And then after that, it was a good night.
All in all, things are going pretty well for Ross Brooks. He got to play in the National Hockey League with the Orrs and Espositos of the world. And when his playing days were over, he opened his own business and went on to coach high school hockey in Lincoln, Rhode Island. However, early last year, Ross Brooks' storybook life took a tragic turn.
Well, actually, in the last year and a half, my father died, and then Chris was killed last February.
Chris was Ross's 25-year-old son. On Saturday, February 17th of last year, Chris Brooks and a friend were walking home when they were struck from behind without warning by a hit-and-run driver. The operator of the car later admitted he was drunk.
Why he would leave somebody laying in the middle of a road. I don't know how any of us here would react to hitting somebody on a street. What we would do. I don't think you know what you would do. I don't think anybody here would know exactly what their feelings are and what they would do. He took off.
While suffering the biggest loss of his life, Ross Brooks also may have made his biggest save. When it came time for justice, he chose not to send his son's killer to jail.
You have to walk out of the courtroom and feel that you've done something. You can't walk out of the courtroom and feel vindictive or that you've been cheated. We've already been cheated, so that's over. So we both walked out of there after it was over feeling that what this kid is doing is 5 years of home confinement, which means he's a prisoner in his own home. And the onus is on his shoulders now. It's giving him a chance. If he screws up, he could be at the ACI.
Hockey still plays a major role in Ross Brooks' life. He's now a goaltender coach for the Providence College Friars. He hopes the long, winding road he's traveled will have a positive influence on his players, the same type of influence a former Bruin teammate had on his late son. Chris Brooks idolized Bobby Orr. Chris had a poster of number 4, and just before he was killed, Chris told his dad he desperately wanted Orr to autograph it.
That's really what he wanted. He was just, he kept telling me, get that thing signed. And he's got about 5 pictures of him, but he just wanted this one signed. I think it was the portrait that Lamontagne did, Armand. And so I did, and he signed it, and as I was told when he signed it, he was having a problem, naturally, and so we put it up, and there was 1,000 people came that night, and it was amazing the people that read that, what he had put on the poster, And then we, I think appropriately, buried it with him. And so he took it with him wherever he is, so he's probably got up in his room wherever he is now.
If you'd like to